Hey y'all. You know how stuff don't be in your bingo card? And even though anything can happen at any given time by anybody, I don't think I ever thought, in 2025 in May, right as Diddy going on trial for his stuff, Smokey Robinson and his wife, okay, will be named in the SA lawsuit about girl, former housekeeper accusing him, okay, of SA abuse and some wage violations, and also saying his wife was aware of the shenanigans and did not stop it, so she is in then a cooperator of the illegalities. I said, ooh, not today, okay. So Smokey Robinson, I'll miss you, my buddy. Okay. Motown light skinned eyes man who still be touring or whatever has been named in a $50 million lawsuit, okay? Four former housekeepers, housemates, house cleaner uppers have accused him of some vile things. I said, this is like reading porn. I was like, this is detailed, okay? And he seems to have a ritual of how he does things because it all was very similar, okay? So look, Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, and Jane Doe 4. Because they have not named any name. We don't know how old they are, their names, nothing. We just know there's four separate women who all work for him. Now, Jane Doe 1 worked for him with him from January 2023 to February 2024. So this is some recent stuff, okay? 2024, that was just a few months ago, okay? Well, last year for her, again, Jane Doe 1, again, from January 23 to February 2024, she worked 10 hours a day, 3 days a week for $18 an hour, okay? Was not getting paid overtime, nothing, okay? Now, I feel like is overtime anytime you work over 8 hours or what you work within over 40 hours? I don't know because it seems like if she worked 3 days for 10 hours, she worked 30 hours. So I don't know how their overtime works, okay? Now, Jane Doe 2, okay, she worked with him from May of 2014, so 11 years ago, through February of 2020, right at COVID, okay? She said, I got to get out of here before COVID traps me into madness. Now, Jane Doe 2 worked 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for $10 an hour, okay? But she got raised up to $12 in 2017. I said, girl, that's a lot of raise. Anyway, so yeah, she was around there too. Jane Doe 3 worked there from February of 2012 to April of 2024. I said, girl, a full 12 years? Jane Doe 3 worked there 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for $18 an hour. Okay, housekeeping. Now, Jane Doe 4 had worked there, it says from October of 2020, girl, 2006 through April of 2024. Okay, now we had Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 3, and Jane Doe 4, who were all there in 2024. Jane Doe 1 left in February 2024, Jane Doe 3 and Jane Doe 4 left in April of 2024. He was at, was it threesomes? You up here just abusing people? Girl, what's wrong with you? But Jane Doe 4 was there 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. She was getting paid $15 an hour. But in 2018, it was ranked up to $20 an hour. So again, we do not know names, ages, or nothing. And what we do know is they were all except Jane Doe 4 were they were worried about their immigration status. Okay, so we don't know where they immigrated from to. We don't know that. But when it was asked, why didn't y'all say nothing? Why didn't y'all tell the police or call for help? Because we was worried about, the backlash of it all. We did not know about, it says, the peoples, okay? The reason they did not go to the authorities were due to fear of losing the livelihood, familiar reprisal, public embarrassment, shame, and humiliation to her and her family, as well as being threatened by who? The defendant, okay? The defendant being Smokey Robinson and his wife. Now, also, that was what it said for Jane 04. But for 1 through 3, it was saying, they also were worried about the possible effects on their immigration status, meaning they probably were not born here. Could we get in trouble? We don't know. We don't know. The fact that it seems, okay, they allegedly, because it's all alleged. We don't know if it's true or not. But the fact that it seems, per their complaint, okay, we are illegal, not even illegal. We have immigration issues. It could mess up our immigration. Was he trying to go after folks he knew couldn't tell? Couldn't go to the police? Was he hiring the people to get away with? Girl, I don't know. Now, they were saying the wife was mean, she'd be fussing at them or whatever. It was a hostile environment, okay, using negative words about me and my person or whatever. And I said, girl, what's going on? So if he bad for what he did and the wife knew, and the wife was then mean to the workers because the worker was fucking her husband, ma'am, you should go to jail too. Again, this is all alleged. Now, they were saying he would come to the room, okay? He would be in a blue bedroom. He would be naked, child, fresh out the shower, with only sometimes have on his underwear. He would orally force himself upon them. He would manually do stuff to them, painful vaginal, manual things, okay? He would penetrate them with his erect penis. I said, first of all, I don't want to hear about Smokey's erect penis. And the fact that all of this went on numerous times from, 2006 at the earliest through April 2024 at the latest, because that's when this is a time span. And no one said it was like an everyday thing. I think one woman said it happened several times. One said it happened 20 times or whatever. So it wasn't an everyday thing, but it was a repetitive thing. It was a consistent, even if he was not physically assaulting us, okay, he was harassing us, sexual harassment and whatnot. And they're like, the wife knew, they alleged that the wife knew because there were others in the past who sued him and got settlements, okay? So your husband has a proclivity to taking coochies. I said, girl, Smokey Robinson is a coochie bandit. Everyone who was around here assaulting people is getting called out in 2024 and in 2025, because I said it's not. Now, Smokey be on the road singing songs, being frisky already, so we know he has appetite. Okay, now again, these are allegations. I believe the only thing Smokey said in response was, this is insane. Oh, I am appalled. This is absurd. Girl, because again, it's 4 former housekeeping staff, 4 staff who worked there periodically over from 2006 to 2024 at different times. And is it a RICO case? It's 4 victims. He was doing things from state to state. It gotta be federal. Because if you say, hey, let's travel to some other house, and I need you to clean my house in this other state, or this other state, other city, okay, come on with me. And they said he would wait to get us alone and then take it, okay? And he would lay a towel down to not mess the sheets up. He wouldn't use a condom. He would finish in them. Hopefully, thank God I didn't get pregnant, because men can get you pregnant all the way up till death. Smokey and his wife name was Frances, and it said she perpetuated a hostile work environment by always screaming at us. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta go.